like, this is, Carson, like, shut up, this is not the time for a political statement.
I can hear her break in her mind. Hey yo, what's up you guys? I'm coming to you with another video and we're doing a reaction video. I haven't done these in a while about some woke leftist TikTok person, I don't know, having a meltdown because no one wants to use their they, them pronouns. And so we're gonna have some fun. Break this now, like look into it, make fun of it because again, snap back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. Y'all need to get back to on the ground because y'all in the clouds, y'all in the matrix. And so I can't find the original video, so we're going to use Slightly Offensive's Elijah Schaefer, so shout out to them. And they do a segment called We Are Here, and definitely we are here in this atmosphere. And shout out to this particular video because it had John Doyle and Adam Kigler. Shout out to John Doyle, though he is way more Catholic than I am, but that's near here or there. So, but we'll have some fun. So with that said, shall we begin? But first, of course, if you're new to my channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Maverick Mitch, hey Mitch, the real Mitcher, all the Mitches, and pretty much I like talking about what I like talking about. So, current events, reviews, pop culture, social political commentary, be sure to check out all those videos as you're finishing this video. Also, real quick, if you have a link to the actual video, put it in the below so other people can find it. Again, I'm using Slightly Offensive clip about it, so it's not the whole clip, it's just a portion of it, so we'll go there. And of course, if you can do me a favor in this video, comment below. It helps the algorithm. I do want to bring more people to my channel, so definitely it will help me out if you comment below. So we'll have some fun, make some laughs, and then do it. So roll it.
And they've distracted and disillusioned people to not even be able to think about the changing of the world, how rapidly things are degrading, because people can't even get control of their own minds. And this is video 6. There's this grown adult woman who has a meltdown over being misgendered. And this is a grown woman. Let's go and let's watch this.
I have this one coworker who simply refuses to use the correct pronouns for me. I've called her out every time she misgenders me, and she just is resigned to not change. And today just broke something in me. I just snapped. I ended up yelling at her after the 3rd time she misgendered me, and within like 30 minutes, like, they, I use they, them pronouns.
They are crazy.
Like, I'm sick and tired of this shit. Like, you need to at least make an attempt. And she popped off, got upset, got defensive. What are you gonna do about it? And I just said, I'm gonna be really hurt and sad. Like, that's all I can do about it. And the worst part is that at that point, my boss, who claims to be so woke and like happy and joyous and making a safe.
Also, just pause real quick as she continues. She uses woke in a positive, not a pejorative.
Positive environment for everybody. Gangs up on me with her and says, like, this is, Carson, like, shut up, this is not the time for a political statement.
I can hear her break in her mind, right? Like, this is, like, she's gonna get into it.
Rightfully so, but was trying to take such a level-headed approach to it of like, this is not a political statement. My identity is not a political statement. It's just my identity. All I'm asking you to do is respect that.
Okay, we can just cut this off for a second.
I wanted to watch the whole thing, but I guess this is the only clip and everything. But okay, so getting into it, you know, obviously if you are of this genre, you can look at that and be sympathetic, right? But here's the thing. We are in a situation where you're living in the matrix. You want everyone to conform to what you believe. And this is something new. You can't expect everyone to conform to your worldview when it has really not even been 10 years, maybe 5, where this is actually a thing where people are actually using they, them as a singular, and people like, oh, we use they, them as a singular all the time. No, only when you know the context in which you're talking about. You can't, okay, again, I use this example all the time. Like, if you have Monica and Chandler. Monica goes by they, them. Chandler goes by he, him, right? And Chandler wants chocolate ice cream. Monica wants vanilla ice cream. They decided on chocolate ice cream. Who's they in that situation? Is they referring to Monica, who changed her mind to having chocolate, or they both considered to having both of them want chocolate? You have to distinguish who you're referring to. So when she says they, like, I can't talk to you and like they want this. Who's they, Carson? Like, they want a mocha frappuccino. Who's they? Do you want it or the customer want it? Like, you can't use they when you need to differentiate who's being, the person is being talked about. Also, let's go back to the part where she says this is not a political statement. When everything in her reality, it shouldn't be, but it is. Because you're telling the world where your ideology is. Just as much if I put a cross or whatever on my profile, you know that my ideology, at least Christian, maybe it's, I don't think progressive Christians are Christians because they they believe in God is energy and everything, God is a woman and all that stuff, and so that, no. But the rest of us that is like biblical, okay, look, the base Christians, the real Christians, right, we believe in Jesus Christ, right, and all this stuff, right? So the point being, like, if I were to put a Catholic whatever on my Instagram, you know my ideology. Maybe it's not conservative liberal, but at least you know that. They, them, the only people who uses they, them is people on the left. So yes, as much as you don't want it to be a political statement, it is. Because the only people who subscribes to they, them is people on the left. So, as much as I want to be sympathetic to this person, and this is where I'm getting at. Her co-workers, her boss, like, if this was 10, 6, I don't know how many years ago, back in 2016, I think people would give a little bit credit, like, okay, I'm here to understand, listen to what your grievances, and I'll accommodate to your thing. But now people are getting to the point where it don't make sense no more. You know, when you are actually living in reality, again, snap back to reality, oop, there goes gravity. Like, you can't just say, like, just because you think you can fly doesn't mean you can actually fly. Maybe if you show me you can fly, maybe if you have a hover wings and Iron Man and whatever, yeah, you can fly. But you on the ground, you gotta be in reality. And this is where it comes from. Like, again, I can be sympathetic in which, you know, they want to, this is the worldview, but you can't expect other people to conform to your worldview automatically, especially when they don't understand. And I'm not saying understand they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand in a sense where it just don't make sense no more. And I think people are done. You know, I did a video on, you know, the they thems on Dr. Phil with Walsh. Check out that video. Again, this same ideology can't define what a woman is, right? And as much as I want to sympathize with this person, Carson, I believe their name is, and I'm using they, right? But you have, and I can only use they because we identified who I'm talking to, and so. At some point you gotta be real, and you can't be triggered over someone not expecting to use your worldview. Like, if I ask someone, like, refer to me as a Catholic and they use Christian or Orthodox, I can't blame them for not knowing the distinction, especially if they themselves are not familiar with Christianity in general, right? And so, one last aspect into this, and this is kind of esoteric, but this is for my Filipino friends and my Filipino audience and everything. But, like, you know, obviously, and just bringing it to those who are not Filipino, like, for those who don't know, like, the Philippines was a Spanish colony for 300 years. We were a U.S. territory for a while, and then became independent after World War II. So, in that time frame, gross summary. But, so, in that aspect of pre-colonial Spain, there was writing systems, right? Babayan, right? And it was different throughout all different islands. And it was also, and then the woke likes to like, oh, the colonization, they took over our language. But it was also the Catholic priests who preserved the language. But you can also make the argument like they wouldn't have to preserve it if they didn't colonize, whatever. But the point is, everyone was playing the Game of Thrones. Everyone was seizing territory, expanding their empire, gaining resources, and whatever. But anyway, beside the point. Point being is, like, it has been a novelty for Filipinos to use Babayan script. If you know Filipinos that get tattoos, they do ancient Filipino writing. And it's a novelty. No one in the Philippines actually uses Babayan. They use like Roman numerals and characters and letters, right? And so no one really uses Babayan script other than a novelty, other than the tattoos and some sense of shared heritage, which is fine. I don't have any issues with that. Point being, it's esoteric and no one really uses it other than decoration. So just as much as people use they, them, like, you can use it, no one uses it in a general aspect. Just as much as Filipinos don't use Babayan script on a everyday level. Like, it's not practical because no one, if you go to another Filipino, unless you're like someone like me who actually studied it or whatever, and memorized it at least, not studied. But the point being, you can't really use it on an everyday. So just like this person, she expects everyone, because this is her worldview, she expects everyone to revolve around her, right? And I can go into a different segment in which all of this is about the self, right? It's a religion about the self. This is woke, and like, again, not to being hella Catholic Christian apologetics, but when the life, the way, the truth is in Jesus, theirs is my life, my truth, my way. Always. And it's in the image of the self. God is the self rather than God being God, right? And so just a little like a little fun tidbit there, I guess. And so again, I want to be a little bit sympathetic with this person, but it's just funny, and it shouldn't be funny. It's funny because she can't figure out where the disconnect is, right? Obviously, I'm not really laughing at her strife, her struggle, right? That is sympathetic, and we can help her in that, but I'm laughing because just as much you can laugh at someone doing a rage like rage quit when it's not funny when I'm losing a video game, right? When I'm having a rage quit, right? But it's funny to watch someone else go on a rage quit, right? And so I think that's what it is, right? And so we're not necessarily laughing at her, and maybe people are, but I'm laughing that she's having this breakdown because she can't understand reality. And so that's a little fun segment I just wanted to like talk about, and when I saw this, I just wanted to get into it. And so cool. So with that said, comment below, tell me what you think, and see you in the next video. You can follow me on my Instagram at Mitch, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you. Ecco mi spirito tuo.